what are we really scared? What is this fail? Here's the deal. We all want to swim. But the reality is, most of us are doing the doggy paddle. We're just trying to keep our head above water. We're
Sure.
just struggling to keep our head above water, right? And we're just exhausting ourselves and just wishing we were doing broad strokes, but we're not. You are not drowning.
Yeah.
Just calm down. You are not drowning. You're fine. It's okay if you're doggy paddling, but here's my advice. Flip over and float. You're in the exact same space if you're floating than doing the doggy paddle. We're floating and conserving your energy. When the wave comes, you will have the energy to ride it.
This is Startup to Storefront, the podcast where we talk to business owners and entrepreneurs about the untold challenges of scaling a business. Welcome to the podcast. We have Tara on from the bestgiftstore.com or bestgiftstoreever.com, owner of Tweak and Tesoro. I'll tell the story of how we met. So my wife, I think she had just quit her job, and I wanted to get her like a card, like a nice little card that says like, you did it, amazing, we're about to start this journey. And here in West Hollywood, living in West Hollywood, your store is on Beverly.
Yes.
And so I was walking and I saw you had a huge giraffe in front. And so I walked in and I had seen you have everything there, all these gifts for people of all ages. And I remember as I'm walking to the front where the cards are, I was like, this is the coolest thing. And then everything I saw, I was like, this is the coolest thing. This is the coolest thing. And then we met. And when we met, I remember you explained to me the whole store, the concept. I think you even introduced me to some of the neighbors, the other retail locations next door, and basically gave me like a verbal tour of all of West Hollywood. So thank you for doing that. And then, well, yeah, it was amazing. And you told me a lot of East Coasters live in West Hollywood because it's walkable, which I also found amazing. And so I ended up getting this card. She loved it. bestgiftstoreever.com. Now you're here. Thank you for being here. How did you first get started?
I'm a second generation retailer. So I grew up working in my mother's store in between moments in my life. So living in Europe, coming back to LA, not sure what I want to do, go work for my mother. Decided I want to go to law school, move back east to live that life.
So she was a retailer in New York?
No, my mom is from here.
Okay.
So she had her store. I think her first one opened when I was in university, so late 80s. Her first shop was in Santa Monica. Then she had Tesoro on Robertson, moved it into Beverly Hills. So my mother's store was very much like Hollywood's gift closet, filled with treasures, things made by artists, beautiful tabletop. I kind of joke, it reminds me a lot of what Bergdorf's is.
Sure.
So, everybody who came in really kind of looking for things that nobody else had in LA. Since we make believe for a living, it really isn't about the cost and value of product. It's about really having something unique, which I kind of subscribe to, that I think luxury is having what nobody else has. So I'd rather, to be in Saint-Tropez and have a pair of sandals custom made for my feet, that's incredible, as opposed to, buying something from Gucci, which is available at the airport.
Sure.
So luxury for me resonates that, it's mine.
Yeah.
And that I treasure more than some mass-produced, quote,
item. How big was the store, your mother's store?
My mom's shop was about 3,000 square feet.
Okay, that's a pretty good size.
So it was literally a treasure trove. You would just go in and explore and just be fascinated. And my mother was a curator, and I used to joke she was like the docent of her curation. And she'd wander around and she would be able to tell you about the artist and why she was connecting with the piece and why she wanted it in her store.
Got it.
So when I inherited, my mother retired and I inherited her shop. But to be in my 30s, my ego was such where I didn't want my mom's store, I wanted my own store, and I wanted to do it on my own.
Yeah.
So I came up with my own business, which was called Tweak. Nothing to do with crystal meth. It has to do with fine-tuning. Small adjustments.
The small tweaks.
Radio dial, just fine-tuning.
Got it.
And what I realized from my mom's shop is that these women would come in with questions and they'd say, oh, my home's Mediterranean. Which, tableware do I need for my house?
Where was your first location? Was it the same one or?
Which store?
Tweak.
For Tweak?
Yeah.
No, so did my home style. So I started Tweak as a home styling business.
Okay.
Because these women who would come to my mother's store would have questions, and I found it was easier to answer their styling questions actually in their living room or in their dining room, as opposed to figuring out what Mediterranean was supposed to mean in the store. Are we talking about, Mediterranean, south of France? Are we talking about Israel? What do you mean in Mediterranean?
Sure.
So anyway, so I started making these house calls, and I realized there was a need for a service to kind of come in and just kind of advise. And Tweak was born, basically, if you will, to Botox the house.
Okay.
So no plastic surgery, nothing reconstructive. Just
well
easy
said.
fixes. Right? Reupholster a chair, maybe edit the collection,
Sure.
rearrange furniture, whatever it is. Update with some new bed linen, small
Yeah.
fixes.
And this is
little tweaks.
and you're finding your customers based. I mean, there's no Instagram, there's no Twitter.
I started Tweak in 2004.
Okay, yeah. So Facebook maybe was new, but yeah.
Honestly,
Door to
Daily
door?
Candy opened it up for me.
Okay.
I got a story in Daily Candy, and the next day there were 1,000 people who signed up for email
Wow.
from me. And I thought, okay, I'm obviously onto something. And I cold called everybody from like House Beautiful to Elle Decor to everybody.
Sure.
I made the cover of the New York Times home section, Wall Street Journal. It was crazy, this idea of home styling. So I was doing it in New York, DC, and LA. But I missed retail. So I went to Saks in Beverly Hills, and I said, I have this idea for a store for Christmas where everything is pre-wrapped. And I came up with this pre-wrapping idea because at my mom's store, the women in Beverly Hills can sometimes not be so nice. And they were demanding, saying, what do you mean it's going to take 15 minutes to wrap? I'm sorry, it's a 30-inch platter. I have to build the box. It's all about you, but it's going to literally take me 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So I said to my mother, I'm like, if I ever have my own store, I'm pre-wrapping everything so nobody will bark at me. So I went to Saks in Beverly Hills, based with the reputation of my mom's store, and I said, I have this idea for a store. And they said, great, gave me space. The only people that leased at Saks were the Furrier and Louis Vuitton and me.
Oh, wow.
It was crazy.
You're in good company.
It was an amazing honor to be invited.
Sure.
In, and it was fabulous. Then they decided after Christmas that they would move the gift department to the 4th floor of the men's building.
Oh, that's interesting. Why would they? Okay.
Right. So
men don't shop.
and
Usually it's
fast forward, there is no gift department at Saks Avenue anymore.
Yeah.
So I jumped ship when they told me they were moving, and it occurred to me, really retailers make their money in fourth quarter. So why should you suffer all year when you could just do holiday stores? So from 2004 to 2011, I did my holiday shops around town. So because my base was Beverly Hills, I started in Beverly Hills. And I believe it was 2008 or 9, I couldn't find a temp space in Beverly Hills.
Okay.
JLux was of no help. So I couldn't find a space. And I just took the risk.
JLux is a broker here in LA that you just drive around and his name is on all the buildings and you're like, there's no way this guy can help this many people. But his name is on every single building.
He's the most famous non-famous person in LA.
But I've heard a lot of good and bad things, which is kind of interesting.
Jay. I've known him forever. We're friends outside of the business world.
All right, Jay, give us a call. Let's talk about something for a second here. What was so I had a small company one time, fashion, and it was a men's product, but females would purchase it. Like overwhelming number. It was all online, so I got to see literally the order placer and the credit card number, and the person's name was maybe 80% of the time female. And what I realized was, it's even though it's a male product, they pick 3, and then they ask their girlfriend, wife, hey, which one should I get? And then, the wife ends up making the decision. So when you said like the gift store moved to the men's section, was that just a bad move because in your experience was it a female buyer?
Well, it never made sense to me in the first place. The Saks in Beverly Hills has 2 buildings, so the split of the departments, so home, bridal, and plus size was in the men's building, and that never made sense. I always thought, why wouldn't you put the 20-year-old girl fashion in the men's building? Because the men are going to want to shop where the cute girls are, not the ones who are getting married.
Right.
So I never understood that. Initially, when I was at Saks, gift was on the ground floor. So that made sense. You come in the entrance and boom, there you are.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense.
To put the gift department, you have to get into an elevator and go up to the 4th floor. It's very out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
And gifting is very much an impulse buy. Like even in my store Tweak, somebody will come in for a birthday gift for a kid this weekend, and then while they're standing there, it clicks for them, I have a gift I need for next weekend. Let me just get that while I'm standing.
That's what happened to me. I walked in there, I had a birthday party for my niece, and you guys had a light bright, but for like today's child.
It's amazing.
And I thought that's the coolest thing ever because I just loved light. I mean, I grew up with light brights.
There's this weird satisfaction of poking those little bits through the holes.
Totally.
And it illuminates.
Yeah.
It's still
And it was
great.
pre-wrapped, which was amazing. Yeah.
So the pre-wrap. So my store started as a holiday store, and so I moved over to this neighborhood, taking a risk. It was not my customer base, and I did 2 seasons on 3rd Street. Couldn't get another temp space, and just found this space next to the Beverly Hills Juice Bar, but it was a 5-year commitment.
Okay, that's a big one.
Well, I've been engaged 5 times, but I can't close. That C word is big for me.
Sure.
And it's easy to get out of it. You can get divorced or annulled. You can't just get out of a store lease.
Yeah, leases are tough.
So I took a lot of deep breaths and kind of, evaluated whether or not I wanted to jump back into full-time retail. But the energy of the space, it has 15-foot ceilings. It was the opera store for 25 years. My neighbor, the juice bar, 30 years. My other neighbors, the Chinese restaurant, they've been there for 30 years.
Sure.
Like the sense of community and connection to be between those 2 businesses and what my space was too much. It was overwhelming, and I had to say yes to it.
So you say yes to a 5-year lease.
So I said yes to a 5-year lease. I've been there 8 years, and I just signed for another 3.
Wow.
So the C word's not so scary. I still don't want to be married, but I can commit to
You can commit.
lease. I can
Yeah.
do store leases now. So.
How did you fill the first store? So I noticed when I go to your store, everything's super curated, and not to bring up an online retailer, but when you go on Amazon, everything's like things you might like. And I never like any of those things.
Right.
At your store, I don't know what kind of algorithm you have in your head, but it's amazing. Everything's like amazing and things that I've never seen before.
Well, it's funny because sometimes I walk in my store and I look around and I look at stuff and I'm like, how did I come up with this? Like, why on earth would I have a unicorn water toy next to a USB candle lighter?
Yeah, let's talk about
it. It's all over the place.
In front of us, we have a USB candle lighter, which is literally, I don't even know what it does, but you hit the button and then it sends like an electric...
So it's
a taser? Okay.
It's a candle lighter that doesn't take butane. So you charge it with a USB cord, and basically you're lighting a candle with a taser light that emits from the candle.
Then you can recharge it, which is like the best with any USB-C, I think, charger.
It's an amazing gift. And
Safe.
I also love it too if you're traveling and you're going to New York and you need to bring a gift
Oh,
with
you
you.
can. You can bring it on airplanes.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I have one. I love it. I don't know why I bought it. I just thought it was cool.
It is cool. It's a great gadget.
And people love it.
That you think most people may not associate men and candles, but it's such a gadget, and it has it's the surprise when the taser pops out and you see it. You're kind of fascinated by the light.
So do you go to shows and you're just like walking through, there's a gazillion items?
So I go to shows, I search online, people find me. This is my 15th year with Tweak.
Okay.
And so I've been doing retail for 25 years, but Tweak for 15. So hopefully people know who I am. I was asked to be on a panel at the Las Vegas trade show at the Las Vegas market, Retail Titans and Innovators.
Nice.
Which is a very fancy title, and I was happy to be invited for that. But the highlight for me is that I shared the couch with Ron Robinson, who is an iconic LA retailer. He basically is the force behind Fred Siegel.
Mm-hmm.
He's the home department, the kids, fragrance, women's. And to share space with Ron and to talk about what makes our business successful when you keep hearing about the demise of brick and mortar and how the internet is killing our businesses.
Yeah.
And Ron and I are still here.
Let's get into that in a second. Fred Siegel, for those of you who don't know, is this super beautiful store. I think they have 2 stores here in Los Angeles. And I went to Fred Siegel one time and they were literally building a pop-up because one of the guys from Kiss, I can't remember which one, started a clothing line. And they're quite literally bringing a tour bus, sand, a stage inside, not the whole building, inside a particular area of that building to make it feel like you were at a concert. And then they were bringing all the clothes in, and they were all talking to each other on like a radio or something. They're like, this bus isn't going to get through the opening. And I thought, they're not possibly bringing a bus in here. And I asked, how long is this going to be here? They're like, 2 months. And I thought, how often do you guys do? I asked them, I was like, how often do you guys change this up?
Oh, yeah.
And they said sometimes every weekend, really depends on the company. And I thought, that's Fred Siegel. I mean, amazing. All these different pop-ups.
I have the gift department inside.
Inside.
Fred Siegel.
Yeah,
So,
that's actually where I saw this USB-C.
really?
Or the first time.
Still
Yeah.
my store. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm inside Fred Siegel, and my department is next to the 1,900 square foot pop-up space.
Right.
And that Made Worn situation was incredible. They're current T-shirts, but they're made to look worn.
Yeah.
They retail for about $175. They look like vintage. They're all licensed vintage concert T-shirts.
Yeah.
But they actually had to dismantle my store to
bring that in.
So yes,
it was amazing.
Funny that you saw that pop up.
No, it was crazy. The other thing they do is there's a kith on the basement level. So if you're a sneakerhead, I mean, people line up. Crazy lines for.
It's insane.
Yeah, high piece. That's it, and it's beautiful. I mean, really nice.
The shop is great. Their product turns over. I mean, it could be days. If you don't hit it on the right day, that shoe is gone.
Yeah.
It's incredible. But that also influences my buy. So my store at Fred Siegel on Sunset, I stock a bunch of things that speak to that market. So I have fabulous sneaker books, like sneaker repair kits, and
that's smart.
Shoelaces and things that speak to that audience.
How have you seen Amazon or any of these online retailers impact what you do? Does it force you to just get better at curation, or?
I find Amazon to be overwhelming, and I feel if you're starting from scratch, trying to find something, it's nearly impossible to discover something. Perfect if you know that you need, I don't know, acrylic plate stands. And I can Google that and then I can find it, because I don't know which brick and mortar store would actually sell those plate stands, but I know I can find it on Amazon. So for that, some, I don't know, USB connection cord that I need for my cash register drawer.
Sure.
I use Amazon for stuff like that. But if I, even as a buyer for my store, I don't buy from catalogs.
Okay.
I might see it online, but I actually have to engage the product before I actually buy it.
Okay.
The photographs lie, you don't understand the quality, you don't understand the weight, the feel.
That's actually why I bought this USB-C later. So that's what's funny. So I saw it, and then I went online, and I was trying to read all the reviews on it. And then I thought, well, Tara probably did the same thing. And then everything in your store is so high quality. I just thought I shouldn't waste my time with these. And I went back to the store and bought it.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
And also reviews, what can I tell you? Maybe somebody has a faulty plug and they're going to give it a 1 star because it doesn't work.
Sure.
I mean, yes, I look at reviews too, but I also kind of pay attention to, where's the source? Where's it coming from? Why are they rating it this way? Really, did you have to give a bad review? Could you not have just contacted the company to say, I think maybe the component that you sourced, the accessory piece is, not functioning. Can you replace it, please?
Yeah.
As opposed to outing people negatively. I mean, I face that with Yelp in my store.
Okay. That's true.
My positive reviews are great, and generally the reviews that I get, it's really because I connected with the customer and then I thought, wow, I had a really good time there. Tara was great.
Yeah.
And then they'll actually mention my name in my review. Those are the reviews you want to pay attention to, because I had a real moment of connection. But when somebody gives me a 1-star review and says, I walked in, there's nothing interesting to buy, and I get a 1-star review, I'm sorry, I don't sell cat beds. Of course there was nothing interesting to buy, because I'm not meeting your need.
Right.
It's not a fair.
It's not for you.
But I'm down for a negative review that's constructive, that's going to help me be a better retailer.
Okay.
So if you can bring awareness to a situation for me, quite honestly, let's start with a phone call or a private email before hurting my rating.
Right.
So
people give those out like candy now. It's kind of a problem anyway. But
so I'm kind of sensitive to what is real in the rating system.
Yeah. Did your business ever have a dip at some point when, I don't know, maybe all this online shopping is getting crazy?
It's funny because the internet for me isn't the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
The enemy for me is not providing a great customer experience.
Yeah.
And I know this much. I cannot control who comes into my store. I cannot control what anybody spends.
Yeah.
But I can control that they leave better for having spent some time with me. So I focus on what I can control. And I can tell you this, my product is more expensive than what you find on the internet.
Okay.
It is. I admit it, it's more expensive.
Does it have to be? Just so
Yes,
you, okay.
Because I pre-wrap everything.
Right.
So you're paying for the gift wrap paper.
The service.
And my staff to wrap it. And that is built into the price. But not...
But you're not that much higher.
It's dollars.
Yeah.
We're talking dollars.
Right.
But at the end of the day, if somebody wants to come in and showroom off of my store, which happens all the time, and they look for it for less online, those people are going to do that. So Amazon to me is the enemy in the showrooming. But
Got
it's
it.
not the enemy of you sitting at home at night looking for stuff online to buy.
It's funny. So I not to we won't get political on this, but I remember when during the election. So I remember going on my Facebook and like everyone in my circle, so all of my friends, it was just clearly everyone thought Hillary was going to win, and I remember thinking to myself, this is so terrible in terms of the AI because I can't even see the other opinion, and I remember thinking to myself, the algorithm here is flawed. It's immensely flawed because clearly all my friends are Democrats, obviously. And so I see nothing on the other side. When I go to Amazon, it's like, these are all the things you might like. And I get that. But when I'm shopping for my 4-year-old niece, Amazon's kind of like stifled. And then when I went into your store, I remember thinking, this is a whole nother algorithm. I had that same moment where I was like, oh, this is the other side. This is curation. This is thoughtfulness. And that,
So
it was really interesting to me, right?
thank you. So there's two, which this is what you're seeing when you come into my store.
Yeah.
There's two, there's 2 points that have to be met. The first is the product has to be creative, educational, or purposeful. I don't believe in dust collectors. I don't believe in possessing things for the sake of having them. I don't believe in fast fashion. I believe that you should have less in your life, but have the best.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have kids, but I could have been a parent.
I feel, yeah, based on your selection, you clearly understand children pretty well.
But here's the thing. As a parent, you need to engage and be with your child. So I am drawn to the objects that I source for kids because I want to play with them. I want to make that art kit. I want to spend time with a 5-year-old, having fun, creating and doing things. I went to an elementary school here in LA called Merman for gifted children. And I've definitely lost points over the years, but I started at 5 years old with tremendous potential. And rocket scientist was just not in my cards. But the tools that we had for learning when I was at that school is my baseline for how I buy from my store. So I always say, had this existed when I was at Merman, these are the things we would have been playing with. So I find even in my buy, just even understanding myself, I have very little imaginative play.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of solving, completion, that sense of I did it. The happy neurochemicals release when you set goals and you follow through. So
sure.
If a child can finish an art project and say like, Mom, look what I've done. Or like you complete the puzzle or you're solving or you're winning the game, whatever it is, that sense of I did it is very important to me. So even something simple like Light Bright,
right?
You have that sense of like, you did it.
But it's nostalgic for the parents too, right? Because they're like, oh my God, remember when we played with this thing?
Well, it's emotional, and that's what you should be having this connection. You shouldn't fill your home with stuff that doesn't have meaning.
Right.
So a Light Bright takes you back to being 6, and then you get to say to your child, Mommy had this, or, like it makes you connect on a deeper level to your child because you're sharing something that was important to you with them.
Totally. When you first started, so you opened up your location, you had to hire someone. You're a person of high energy, right? What was that like, hiring your first employee or your second?
Well, the nice thing I inherited, I went back to my mom's business and tapped into who my mother had working for her.
Got it.
So out of the gate, I had family.
You had some people
with me.
Mm-hmm.
And, now when I look for people, I kind of have my own retail philosophy.
Sure.
So people have to kind of sign up and be on board with the way that I think.
Which is okay. You're the business owner. You can call the shots.
Right? It is okay, actually. And
yeah.
Here's the thing, too.
That's the magic.
You don't have to work with me either. That's
right.
Okay, too.
There's choice.
Like me. I mean, we are going to spend 40 hours at least a week together. We should like each other and respect each other. But so this is kind of what I talk about when I hire. This is my philosophy about my store. The purpose of being at my shop every day is to make people happy. It is not work to make people happy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are tasks that we must perform, ringing sales, gift wrapping, taking out the garbage. All of those tasks support the purpose to make people happy. So if you wake up in the morning and go, I have to go to work, I am not the place for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to wake up in the morning and say, I can't wait to get to the shop because I know when I open that front door today, anything is possible. You do not know who's going to walk in the door. It could be anything from like, oh my gosh, David Beckham just walked in. Or yesterday, I had a customer who was in, and I looked at her and I said, you've shopped here before. You're familiar to me. I know you. And she said, actually, I was here a few years ago. You were the first person I told that I was diagnosed with cancer.
Oh my
And
God.
you talked to me, and the words that you gave me helped see me through this. So I broke down crying yesterday. I'm hugging this customer.
Yeah, what a moment. That's amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of opening the front door. You do not know who's coming in. You do not know what the day holds. I might sell a product that inspires the child to be the next Tom Ford.
Right.
You have no clue where the positive ripples are going to lead to, but every day is filled with potential.
Sure.
And the people who I work with, if they're in my store working with me, they're signed up on this is the way they want to live.
I certainly felt the energy when I walked in. Is it the same? Would you say that's hard to find people like that, or would you say you've been pretty lucky?
No one's ever going to have my energy.
Sure.
And that's one of the problems when we talk about expanding my business.
Yeah.
How do you recreate the magic that's my store in multiple locations?
Right.
So I've kind of come to terms with, I can't.
You can't. It's very difficult. Yeah.
It's impossible. So I just have to trust that my staff brings the best energy that they have.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe if I'm in the store and somebody's fortunate enough to walk in while I'm there, then they can, enjoy that light.
Yeah.
And that connection with me. But I also have the benefit too. I'm 50. I'm not in my 20s. My staff. I grew up in Los Angeles. Odds are I probably went to high school with one of my customers' kids.
Sure.
Or there's this sense of community. Or, if you're from New York, maybe we'll do the geography and say like, oh, you're in this industry.
Right.
I have friends in New York. Maybe you went to Spence, so did my cousin. Maybe you know her. And you find your points of connection with people.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. We're all connected. We just don't know how.
Right.
So in that conversation, that's where you find those points, and hopefully that's how it lights up.
Yeah. Do you have any amazing, you mentioned David Beckham, any favorite celebrity stories?
He's my favorite. He's the only one I will ever mention.
Oh, cool.
He's
What
the
happened?
only one I'll ever mention.
He comes in with a soccer ball.
No, I never. And I never mention anybody, but it's Los Angeles. And so obviously you can't walk down the street without bumping into somebody famous.
Yeah.
But, we all have those moments where like you think about somebody and their phone rings and you're like, oh my God, I was just thinking about you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It happens to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
So one day I had to go to the doctor's office, and if anybody, watched Game of Thrones, the doctor went full on Dracarys on my face, stabbing and going at these moles that I wanted removed. And it's funny because I don't wear makeup and I'm very natural and just as is. I joke I don't get paid to be pretty, like I just don't really care. But at 50, there have been some changes and I just needed some things addressed. So I'm driving back from my doctor's appointment to my shop, and I had these 4 little bloody little Band-Aids on my face where I just got lasered and zapped. And I call the shop and I said, I'm just giving you a warning. I'm frightening. I'm going to terrify the children. I really think it's best if I just hang in the back office today. Nobody wants to see me looking like this. So vain enough that I'll hide, but not vain enough that I won't go to work. So as I'm driving, I was telling my staff this, and I said, by the way, I am so terrifying. I am so ugly right now. David Beckham is coming later today. And she laughed at me. 4 o'clock.
No way.
Beckham walks through the door. Taylor looks at me. I look at her. Her jaw drops. I'm like, yes, I manifested him. And I walked up to him, and he was with one of his kids, and I said, good to see you. And I said, I'm standing there feeling so insecure. And I'm like the world's sexiest man. I've got bloody Band-Aids all over my face. And I look at him, and I said, and his son, and I said, don't turn 50. This is what happens when you turn 50. And bless that man, he looked at me and he said, you're still lovely.
Oh, that's so nice.
So
Look
he's
at
awesome.
that. That's
He's
amazing.
He's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. We've had a lot of female founders and people that run their business on the show. Anything you want to share on that front? Is it more difficult? Do you think it's just a mindset? Has it been pretty easy for you?
I think everything is a mindset. And I think you have to kind of go in with just knowing that this is your passion and not really thinking about whether or not you're going to fail. I can't even wrap my head around that word.
Right.
Because it's not really about you. I mean, we're on the verge of a recession. People are freaking out, yet I'm opening another store.
Yeah.
Which is illogical if you take all the facts. This is not the time to open up another retail shop.
Or is it?
Well, circling back, it's funny because Ron Robinson, my mentor, my hero, after 41 years in business, is retiring.
Okay.
And so we're losing more gift stores in Los Angeles. So I just feel like, it's funny how the stars aligned. I found this great space and this great opportunity to be back on Cannon Drive, and I'm going to jump on it. And I'm not worried. And whatever the universe is going to give me, it'll give me. And honestly, I already have enough. And opening another store only gives me more opportunity to connect with more people,
To share.
to hire more people. And circling back to the two ways that I buy for my store, not only do I look for creative, purposeful, educational, but I care about where I source my products from. So the money that I invest in the product goes to support that company and that staff.
Mm-hmm.
So when you understand the chain of how the money spent affects all of us,
Mm-hmm.
it feels good for me to invest in companies I believe in. So if the staff is happy, like I'll talk to people like, oh, you work at Melissa & Doug, this enormous toy company. Do you enjoy your job? Are they good to you? If they say yes, boom, I'm giving them my money.
Oh, interesting.
I want people to be happy.
That's great.
None of us should dread getting up every morning.
Totally true.
So in the same way you might be mindful about whether or not you use plastic or you recycle, I'm mindful about how I buy. And I hope that my customers appreciate shopping with me because they know that when they shop with me, they're putting a roof over Taylor's head.
Yeah.
Here's a girl who's 25 years old who grew up in Maine in a town of less than 4,000 people. And she moved to LA on her own, no friends, just thinking she had visited here, she needed a change in her life.
Yeah.
I call it jumping, when you face fear and embrace change.
Yeah.
So
without a
I'm
parachute.
Jumper, Taylor, who works for me, is a jumper. And what are we really scared? What is this fail? Here's the deal. We all want to swim. But the reality is, most of us are doing the doggy paddle. We're just trying to keep our head above water. We're
Sure.
just struggling to keep our head above water, right? And we're just exhausting ourselves and just wishing we were doing broad strokes, but we're not. Here's the deal. You are not drowning.
Yeah.
Just calm down. You are not drowning. You're fine. It's okay if you're doggy paddling, but here's my advice. Flip over and float. You're in the exact same space if you're floating than doing the doggy paddle.
Right.
And here's the deal. If you're floating and conserving your energy, when the wave comes, you will have the energy to ride it. So my whole thing is just be patient. You know what you're doing. Just keep at it. It will happen when the time is right. Don't stress yourself out. Don't freak out. Just float.
So you're opening up Tesoro soon, right?
Yes.
And you've entered the wonders of finding a builder. What is, all right, so you sign the lease, you're going to make improvements to the space.
It's funny because every space is a different beast. And I thought this would be a piece of cake. I'm just, great bones to my space, fabulous vaulted ceilings, marble floors, gorgeous.
Beautiful.
All I need to do is rip out the existing 3 fixtures and pop in a couple of bookshelves and a cash desk. I'm good to go. How long is this going to take? I should be done in 3 weeks. Call my first builder. Too busy. Next one, holiday. Next one, wife having a baby. Okay, fine. Go to my landlord, who are your people. Meeting after meeting, you can't get a quote back. I'm really at my wit's end. I'm anybody. Hi, welcome to Tweak. Do you have a contractor? Do you have a builder? I am searching everywhere to find somebody to help me. I have been to my space and explained my vision so many times. I can tell you just off the top of my head what the dimensions of my space are. It's incredible. And my father said to me, well, did you ask, our contractor for the house? And I said, he was one of the first people, and he never got back to me. And my dad said, so call him again. Stop. So I contacted him again. He's like, oh, sorry, I missed that text. Sure, let me come build it. So finally, we're back in motion. It's happening. It's on. And my shop will be built, ready to go on my timeline. But the anxiety and the frustration of such a simple task.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of crazy and exciting to be on this roll again. My second store was easy. I just had to drop my product into Fred Siegel.
Okay, right.
They have their point of sale system. They
Right.
have security, everything.
They have the shelving.
It's
Yeah.
ready to go. Lighting's done.
Right.
Playlists. Everything is done. All I have to do is just show up with my staff and my stock. Easy move and easy build. This one, I'm going back to square one again. What is the vibe? What do I want the music to? What is the playlist?
I hadn't even thought of the music piece. That's interesting. Yeah.
Well, you got to get the whole atmosphere and right. So now, it's one thing that my shelving fixtures are going in, but what about the accent tables? What about, do I want to just do generic store-bought fixtures, or do I want to spend more money and buy real furniture?
And do you decide, or do you work with an architect or a designer? You do all of it. Yeah.
I mean,
you know what you're doing.
My background's in home design, so
sure.
I mean, I can see in 3D. So
that's hilarious.
No, like some people see in 2D, like they're graphic designers, they see in 2D, but they
Right.
can't see a 3D space, and I'm good at visualizing space. So, that being said,
Oh, that's funny.
in my quest for a contractor, I did reach out to a friend who's a visual merchandiser. First of all, it's nice to have a sounding board, but also, as I'm aging and realizing that I now have 3 stores to deal with, if I can delegate and have other people who I trust
right.
to take things off my plate, it's worth it.
Yeah.
So I do have somebody who's going to help me just like deal with my front window. And, everybody keeps saying to me, like, Tara, it doesn't have to be perfect when you open the front door. And I'm looking at my friends, I'm like, I'm sorry, in what universe do you have a second chance to make a good first impression?
So true.
So yes, it has to be spot on. I mean, this is it.
Right.
This is the ta-da moment. And the audience and the vision that I have for Tesoro is totally different than Tweak. It's totally different than Tesoro Fritz Siegel. It's so funny, each of my stores are within 1 to 2 miles of each other.
Right.
But they each have a different demographic, and the audiences are different. So Tweak, it's neighborhood, it's families. Tesoro, I have a lot of tourists. And then Beverly Hills, it's Beverly Hills locals.
Mm-hmm.
So there are 3 different people.
Yeah.
And so the audience for Beverly Hills I'm super psyched about, because it's going to be, the agents. What are you going to get? Client gifts.
Oh, really cool. Okay.
More masculine tech items. Like there's this beautiful chagrin wireless charger for your phone that I'm getting. And it works both ways. So you can either just wirelessly charge your phone to it, or it can also then charge to another phone. Like this thing is so super cool, but it can also be customized, so I can have your initials put on it. So I'm always kind
That's
of looking
nice,
for
yeah.
a product that, yes, this is what I'm offering, but you know what, I can change it and make it yours.
Sure.
And give you ownership of it. I have favorite books that I'm attracted to that I have recovered in leather and create custom covers.
Beautiful.
So I can take just like a fun paperback and turn it into a gorgeous hardback book. So again, you're the only person who has this book now, but I've made these custom jackets. So it gives me more opportunity to be creative, especially in my product mix in my new store, than I've ever had elsewhere. And because my mom came from artist-made product, I'm circling back to that for this new store. So you'll see a lot of LA artists work in my store. But it's funny too, because I remember my mother years ago when the internet first started, and my mom said, I don't care about the internet. I sell handmade things made by artists.
Interesting.
You're not in competition with the internet when you have one of a kind.
Right.
And it's funny now with the tariffs, those big evil tariffs that I like to lobby and fight. I'm more aware of made in the USA, or
you're forced to be,
or made
right?
elsewhere other than China.
Yeah.
And toys, necessary evil that come from China, you cannot fight that. 80% of all toys are made there. It is what it is. I can't change the toy industry, but I do have options where I can buy objects that are imported from other countries.
How much more is it? 30% more that you're having to pay?
They're threatening up to 30% more.
I remember when the threats were around steel, and we were building, the buildings, the brewery, and we had to buy ductwork. And the quotes we were getting were, they said, if this goes through, you're paying this much, and it was an unbelievable amount. And so, just the threat alone was causing these people to obviously raise their prices even before it went through. Because if it does, then that's your supply.
Oh, it was crazy. I was lobbying. If anybody can actually go to DC and lobby, I recommend doing it. It gives you this real sense of it is your right to do so, and the sense of, at least you're doing something. At least you're trying to get your voice heard and make a difference in this world. So I belong to the National Retail Federation, and when I go to lobby, they group me with other California retailers. So I have been fortunate enough to lobby with, I've been with Williams-Sonoma, Mattel, Target, IBM. It's just incredible to walk in. You go into the offices with representatives and you introduce yourself around the table and you talk about how tariffs are impacting your business. So listening to everybody's stories, Williams-Sonoma spoke, and they said that they had plans to build new distribution centers, but because of the increase in steel, they scrapped those plans.
Yeah.
Pun intended. They scrapped the plans. So now you're losing all of those jobs, building out the facility, staffing the facility. So that was an initial issue with the steel. Then with the next round of tariffs that were coming in, Target imports about 200,000 SKUs from China.
Wow.
Their compliance team is 80 people. It's incredible
Wow.
the amount of product. Target is the second largest retailer into this country. Williams-Sonoma, 1 in 6 Californians shops Williams-Sonoma. So Pottery Barn Kids,
Sure.
all their brands. That's incredible.
Yeah.
So Williams-Sonoma was saying last year when I was with them that their catalogs were already printed. Prices were already set for their Christmas buy.
And they had to change it.
They couldn't change it because everything was already set. So goods were already on the water. They got tariffed coming in. So they're taxed.
Wow.
To port.
So they're getting hit.
So Williams-Sonoma had to figure out a way. They couldn't adjust the price. They couldn't pass that on to consumers. They had to figure out another way to fix their bottom line. So they addressed it by not staffing with holiday help. So I don't know if anybody shopped at Williams-Sonoma last year and found that the customer service
So the
was
labor,
bad.
yeah.
They cut out the labor force. So the tariffs, even though the consumers didn't feel it, they felt it on the end of customer service, and those part-time people all lost opportunities for income.
Wow.
So it's interesting, again, like to be mindful of the sense of connection, again, of how we spend, how we support one another, whether or not you shop. People should definitely keep shopping. It only helps our economy as we keep shopping.
Yeah.
But be more mindful about what you're buying.
So what's well, first I want to ask, what music did you decide on for Tesoro?
So it's kind of obnoxious.
I'm always curious because like you have to choose, right? And so how do you like? If someone gave me that, even for my house, it's a challenge. Never mind for a department store.
So it's funny how you have experiences and you connect, and how music just kind of ignites your soul. And this summer I was in Florence, and I was staying at my friend's apartment. He has a place in this building called Palazzo Tornabuoni. And it's this very posh Four Seasons managed property.
Beautiful.
And the center room, there's a bartender, and you can go for an aperitivo. And I asked the bartender what was playing, and it was a Spotify playlist called Vintage Chic 100. And there's various versions of it, but basically it's all covers of music that you know, but
Vintage Chic 100
Vintage Chic
on
100,
Spotify. Okay.
But it's tunes you know, yet it could be like New Order. I mean, like crazy from the 80s. It could be Beatles. It could be whatever they choose, but reconfigured so it sounds like kind of just like lounge music.
I'll have to check that out.
Like sexy, sultry.
Yeah.
Yet you're going, wait.
You know the song.
It's true. Look how they shine for you. Look how they shine for you. Look how they shine.
So now you have Tweak, you have Tesoro. What's you're in Fred Siegel. What's
Yes.
next? Where do you think this is going for you?
Well, it's so funny because I don't have a traditional business plan for my business.
Which is good. It's a lie to have a plan, I think, because there's so many. You have to navigate different waters at different times.
You know what? I kind of joke about this. You know, we do create business plans, but none of us have life plans. You kind of wing it. You're like, okay, I'm getting married, and okay, we're gonna move to California. Like, you know what? Now we're gonna move to New York. Like,
Right.
You don't really
know.
Now. You just kind of wing it.
Yeah.
And
Serendipity is a part of any business plan. You just don't know where.
I feel like you should have some idea. And it's funny, like I never went into retail thinking, oh my gosh, one day I'm gonna have this empire. I'm gonna have 100 stores. I'm gonna be all over.
Yeah.
You know, my kind of entree into retail was, you know what? I think I need a holiday store. It's like, I can't find temp space. I guess I have to sign a lease. Like, you know what? Fred Siegel came to me and said, be the gift department. Great. And then, you know, it's almost like the mafia making me these offers. I've got this space. It's on Cannon Drive, next to El Pastaio. Like, okay, fine, I'll take it. So, you know, we'll see how Tesoro goes. I'm feeling really optimistic about it.
Yeah.
It's already getting buzz. People are excited. And again, kind of circling back to the light bright. For a lot of people, it's emotional. They remember, bridal registering at my mother's store.
It's so
For
true.
them to come back to Tesoro, it's like, oh, Tesoro, I loved that store.
Yeah.
So they're already excited to come in, and I haven't even opened because their memory of what it was is so delicious to them.
Mm-hmm.
So that also puts a certain pressure too, the expectation that's being met. Like, I better deliver. Like, there better be some good art in there. There better be some
Right.
things that make people go like, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
So,
That's awesome.
so it's a new stress, but stress isn't a bad thing.
No, it's a good
there's
thing.
a new bar. And it's funny because a lot of my life, I think of kind of like my yoga classes. It's not like you ever reach that point. It's not like you ever reach the bar.
Mm-hmm.
The bar keeps moving. So as you get better and as you get stronger, right, the bar just keeps rising.
Yeah.
But thank God it does, because we should always be on the quest to be better and to be challenged and to
Totally.
learn more and to be more and to be more charitable and just be better people.
That's right.
So, I don't know what's next, but of course there is.
It'll be fun and amazing.
There always is.
Yeah. Where can people find you? Tell everyone where they can
my
find
gosh,
you
there's
or your
so
stores.
So many ways. bestgiftstoreever.com, and then Instagram for Tweak, and my personal life. I feel like I am my store.
I like-
have
yeah.
a disconnect on my Instagram because people are like, it's not very polished. I'm like, well, my life isn't polished. My life is spontaneous, and I go to trade shows, and I wear cat ears on my head, and I bark like a dog, and I act like, I don't know. Like
It is entertaining, I'll say that much. You're clearly having fun, and it's awesome, as you should.
Right? But
Yeah.
you should be laughing. And that's the other thing, too, when I buy for the kids, the package might say 8 and up, but I really buy for adults. I want adults to just relax. I mean, this is the thing. We are so pressured in our lives to get it right. Do you have the right career? Did you marry the right person? Are you putting your child in the right school? Did you choose the right fabric for the curtains? Are you going on the right holiday?
Right.
So, like, oh my gosh, everything is, are we getting it right? No one has ever said no to playing backgammon because they might lose.
Right.
When you play, you are fully present in the moment with no fear and no regard for what the future is going to be. Watch children play. They don't care if they win or lose. They just want to be in the moment. If adults played more, they would be happier people. So I play all the time.
I love it.
And I encourage play when somebody's in my store. I'm like, oh my gosh, go put on the headsets and play with the drums. Pretend you're a rock star. No one can hear the music. It's in your ears only. And you're going to have the best time. And I know if I can get a customer to play, that they're going to leave happier for having been in my shop.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, Tara, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
We've never done a challenge, but I think I feel inspired to give a challenge to our listeners.
All right.
Wherever you are, if you're in LA, obviously check out Tweak or Tesoro, and just do something nice for somebody. Buy them a nice gift, wrap it, or have it wrapped by Tara's team. If you're not in LA, just go out and buy something nice for somebody. A card, bring it home. I think the gift of giving is super important. And I think after this podcast, I think I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the love.
Here's the thing, is because we are moving into Christmas season.
That's true.
I mean, this is it. Because a lot of people, again, back to fear of making right choices. Here you go. You're never going to guess or know what somebody wants.
True.
Anybody in a relationship knows this.
Yeah.
You never know what your partner wants. But you do know what you think somebody should have. So remember, when you're giving this holiday season, it is not what you give, it is how you give. And the object itself is not the gift. The handing of the gift is the gift. It's that moment of connection. When you hand off your energies and flow with each other, you're making eye contact. That handoff communicates that you care, you value, you appreciate, you celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that matters. Gift wrapping for me is bonus. It's the difference between dining and eating. When you go to a fine restaurant and that plate comes to the table, you start salivating before the first bite because visually you're so stimulated that by the beauty of the plating. And it's the same thing with a gift wrapped present.
Yeah.
If you have a gift that's in a paper bag with tissue, that to me communicates you couldn't be bothered. And if you reach into a bag and pull out the item, you're like, oh, it's a candle. As opposed to, oh my gosh, what's behind the paper? Watch children at Christmas. They do not care what you buy them. They're counting how many gifts they get, and all they want to do is tear. It's true. It's a new thing with kids. They're counting, and they're tearing the paper for the reveal.
Right.
We all want the reveal. That's why you watch The Voice. Who's going to win? We all want the reveal, and that's the beauty of the gift.
I love it. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming on. bestgiftstoreever.com. Thank you.
Thank you.
We here at Startup to Storefront would love to hear feedback from you. Reach out and let us know what you think about the show.
Make sure to give us a rating on iTunes. Anything over 5 stars is the only way to go.
Our music is composed by Double Touch. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Startup to Storefront.
For more information on the products and businesses featured on the show, check out the links in the show notes.
Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.